Today, let us understand about tides. The tides arises because of variation in apparent gravitational field of Sun and the Moon at different points. We know that our Earth is rotating about the Sun, so the position will always change. Okay, the Earth is surrounded by a large water body that we call ocean. Okay, so we want to understand what should be the height and how the tides are formed. That's our question today. The formation of tide is due to the gravitational pull by sun and moon. Okay, even though the effect by sun is rather larger than sun, we are going to follow the effect of sun first, then we will end up with the effect of sun. Okay, so in this figure, this one is the sun and this is earth. Rs, the small rs, is the distance between the centers of sun and earth. Okay, and n cap is a unit vector that directed from earth to sun. That is a unit vector, right? That is our figure. So what we are going to do is we are going to calculate the gravitational field of sun at the center of earth. Okay, we know from the idea of gravitation that you learned in the last semester, G0 is, we called it is G0, the gravitational field of sun at the center of the earth. The gravitational field of sun at the center of earth. Okay, that is at this point. It is I call G0, capital G0. It is ms is the mass of sun and rs square into n cap. N cap is the direction. Ms is sun mass. Rs is distance between center of earth and sun. N cap is the unit vector from earth towards sun. Okay, therefore G0 is gms by rs square n cap. The earth accelerates towards sun at a rate a, so that is equal to G0, because from the gravitational law F is equal to g m1 m2 by r square. Therefore gm by r square is the acceleration. Okay, here it is gms by r square, that I call a. That means the earth accelerated towards, it's a free fall, accelerated towards sun at a rate a is equal to G0. Now suppose G of r, capital G of r, this one, capital G of r is the gravitational field of sun at some point r, like this, some point r on the earth. Okay, and at this point r I consider a small mass m. Okay, small mass m, then what should be the force on that mass m at a distance r on the earth? How we can calculate? I know the gravitational field is capital G of r and the mass at the point r is small m. Therefore F is equal to m into G of r. That I am going to calculate. This is F is equal to m into G of r. Okay, now suppose since I am on the earth's surface, the force that I feel is called the apparent force. Okay, therefore the apparent force to an observer in an earthbound system is given by F prime is equal to F minus ma. Okay, where F is mgr and a is G0. Therefore m into G of r minus mg0, that is m into G of r minus G0. The apparent field is F prime by m, that I call G prime of r. Okay, therefore G prime of r is equal to F prime by m is equal to G of r minus G0. This you have to remember. G prime of r is the apparent field. The field the field by an observer on the earthbound system. Okay, so if you are standing on our earth, the gravitational field that you feel is the apparent field. So that is given by g prime r is equal to g of r minus g0. Now I am going to analyze it more. This is our sun, this is our earth in a particular orientation. Okay, so here I dotted 4 points A, B, C, D, 4 points, and O is the center. The field at O is called G0. Okay, capital G0. And what is GA? GA is the gravitational field at point A. GB is the gravitational field at B. Similarly, GC and GD. Okay, it is towards sun. So let us think about all this one. Okay, so here GA is close to sun rather than G0 and GC. Okay, therefore GA should be greater than G0, that should be greater than GC. That means GC is smaller than G0, G0 is smaller than GA because GA is very close to sun, so the field will be more. The field at B and D is almost equal to G0. Okay, GA, the field at GB and GD will be almost equal to G0, but its direction will be different. Okay, the direction will be different. See the vector, you can see the vector. So these are all vectors. Okay, the vector is different. Okay, that I written here. Right, now what we want is the apparent field. So the apparent field is G prime is equal to G minus G0, that we just have this. Okay, so it will be look like this. This is our earth. So GA prime, actually it is the difference between GA and G0. Okay, that I am going to tell you. So this is GA prime is the apparent gravitational field at A, and similarly GB, GC and GD. Okay, here one point you have to remember is GA prime and GC prime is radially outwards and GB and GD is radially inwards. Okay, very important point. So the one in the same direction of sun is the radially outwards, and other two is, so that means in these two there is a bulging, this to the side there is a compression. That is what I am going to mention. Okay, now we want to calculate actual values of GA prime, GB prime, GC prime and GD prime. Okay, let us start calculating this thing. Okay, let us first calculate GA prime and GC prime, then we can calculate GB prime and GD prime. That is good. So GA prime is the apparent field at point A, GC prime is the apparent field at C. So this is our figure. Sun, earth, here this is GA, RS, you know the distance between centers of sun and earth, and capital R is the radius of earth, G0 is the center, field at the center, GA prime is the apparent one. We can calculate this one. So what is GA? GA is equal to GM by, the main formula is GM by R square. Here the distance is GMS by this to this point. That distance is RS minus RE. Therefore GMS by RS minus RE all square. Okay, so therefore we know that GA prime is GA minus G0, but the earlier formula, from the earlier formula, GA prime is equal to GA minus G0. Therefore GA is this one, substituting G0 is GMS by R square. Okay, G0 means G in this distance, this to the RS, G into MS is mass of solar by R square. So substituting these values, and I am taking GMS by RS square common. So therefore I am taking RS square outside from this RS minus RE all square. So that will be 1 by 1 minus RE by RS all square minus into minus 1. Okay, so what is RE by RS? Radius of earth divided by the distance between center of earth and sun. If I calculate the exact value, it will be 6.4 into 10 raised to 5 kilometer by 1.5 into 10 raised to 8 kilometer. It is a very small value, very much less than 1. Okay, of the order of 10 raised to some minus 3 or something like that. Okay, so it is a very small value. So I can use binomial approximation. So therefore GMS by R square I have taken upward 1 minus RE by RS all raised to minus 2 minus 1. So 1 minus x all raised to minus 2 is 1 plus x minus etc. I am taking only linear term. So GMS by R square into 1 plus 2 RE by RS minus 1, 1 plus cancel. So this is approximate. So this is equal to 2G0 RE by RS. Okay, where I used binomial approximation for the linear terms. I avoided the higher order terms like the squares. Okay, in a similar way, so now we got GA prime. In a similar way, you can calculate GC prime. GC prime, when you calculate GC prime, where GC prime, when you calculate GC prime, so GC prime is at this point. Okay, so this point, so that will be RS plus RE. Instead of RS minus RE, here you have RS plus RE. That is only difference. And there also you can take the binomial approximation and simplification. What you will get is GC prime is equal to minus 2 times G0 into RE by RS. There is a difference only in a minus. Why that minus? So minus is radially outward. Okay, so you remember the unit vector n is from earth to sun. So it is opposite that's the meaning. So it is radially outward. So what I can say is GA prime and GC prime points radially outward. Okay, that's very important. Now we can calculate GB prime and GD prime. For that I made like this: sun, earth. So here earth is little bigger than sun. It means the sun is far away, that only. Actually sun is bigger. So this is the center and the point B. If I made an like this, so you know R is very much bigger than RE. Okay, so therefore the angle is alpha. So I choose alpha is approximately equal to RE by RS. So your R something like an arc. It is very small. Alpha is actually very small. So RE by RS, alpha is equal to, so this radius by this radius. Okay, alpha RE by RS. So alpha is approximately RE by RS, that is 4.3 into 10 raised to minus 5. It is a very small quantity. That means alpha is a very small quantity. So if I draw this G0, so this is G0, and you know this is GB, this is GA prime. If I plot it like this, G0, GB, GB prime. Okay, here also alpha is very small. The angle is very small. I taken the alpha same angle. It is very small. Therefore GB prime, you can from here GB prime is G0 into alpha, G0 into alpha, G0 RE by alpha is RE by RS. Okay, so that is the one. Okay, therefore GB prime is G0 into RE by alpha. Similarly, you can calculate GD prime. Okay, so GD prime, you don't need to calculate anything. By symmetry, GB prime will be equal to GD prime and just opposite to GB prime. Okay, that's only. So therefore here what I can say is GB prime and GD prime points towards the center of earth. Okay, radially inwards. Okay, this calculation is very simple. Here if you calculate GB prime, then GD prime is very easy. It is just symmetric but in a opposite direction. Okay, in conclusion, what I can say is, if this is the earth, the points A, it is radially outward, B inward, C outward, D outward. Okay, so what I can say is, the forces at A and C tend to lift the ocean, so there is a high tide, and the forces at B and D tends to depress them, so there will be low tide. So there is two high tides and two low tides. Okay, right? Okay, now let us calculate what should be the equilibrium height. Okay, for that, so what should be the height of the tide? That is another question. Okay, so what we conclude is, the tide forms due to the gravitational field of sun and moon. Even though I was not mentioned about moon, I will come to that point in later. Okay, here we are going to see what should be the height, equilibrium height. So for that, let us consider two water columns in earth. So this is our earth. So one water column is this first water column, H1, that is in the direction of sun. This H1 is the height from the center to the level of water. Okay, so and H2 is the height of height from the center to the level of water. Okay, and one is towards the sun and other is just perpendicular to that. Okay, this is our situation. So from a distance r, I have chosen a small column dr. Okay, dr. So and I use both are the same liquid water, so that its density rho is constant. Okay, so what should be the equilibrium condition? The equilibrium means the pressure at the bottom should be same. Okay, pressure at the bottom should be same. Pressure is force per unit area, right? So for equilibrium, the pressure at the bottom of the column must be equal. That you have to remember. So pressure due to water of height dr. So for that, I am calculating a small water column dr here. What should be the pressure? Let rho be the density and dr and g of r, small g of r, is the gravitational field, effective gravitational field g of r at r. Therefore the pressure is actually force by unit area. Therefore rho into g of r into dr, that will be the pressure. Is it understandable? Rho is the density, g of r is the gravitational field, and dr is this thickness. Okay, so rho into dr, what you will get? You will get the mass. Okay, so at equilibrium, these two pressures should be equal. That means I am integral 0 to h1 rho g1 of r dr should be equal to integral 0 to h2 rho g2 of r dr. G1 of r is field at here, G2 r is field at here. Okay, and h1 is the height, and okay, so I am integrating for getting the total pressure. So h1 and h2, so distance from the center of earth to the surface of water column. Okay, so I take the same liquid, therefore the density is same, so I cancel rho in each integral. So it will be integral 0 to h1 g1 of r dr is equal to integral 0 to h2 g2 of r dr, where I had taken rho is a constant, that I take as the first equation. Okay, now I want to calculate g1 of r and g2 of r. Then I will substitute here to get the value. That is the method. Okay, so first I want to calculate g1 of r. So g1 of r is the effective field towards the center of earth along column 1 in the first column. So g1 of r is the field gravitational field of earth, and g1 prime of r is the effective field of the sun along column 1. Okay, so g1 of r is the difference between g of r and g1 prime of r. Okay, so we have g1 prime of r is actually in our last calculation it is equal to ga prime. So ga prime is 2g0 re by rs. So that is equal to g0 is gm g into ms by rs cube rs. So it will be 2 into gms by rs cube into re. Here I want to replace re by the distance, this distance, I mean this one, this r. Okay, so therefore this is equal to g1 prime of r is equal to 2gms by rs cube into r. Okay, so that is equal to 2cr, where c is gms by rs cube, that you have to remember. Okay, therefore g1 of r is g of r minus 2cr. Okay, by substituting here g1 of r is g1 prime of r is 2gms by rs cube into r. Substituting, what I am getting is g1 of r is equal to g of r minus 2cr. Okay, similarly you can calculate g2 of r. Okay, g2 of r is g of r plus g2 prime of r. Okay, so here it is plus minus, it is plus. So g of r plus g0 re by rs. What is g2 prime as? It is your like gb prime. So it was g0 into re by rs. Then substituting and replacing c as gms by rs cube, you will get g2 of r is equal to g of r plus cr. These are the two equations. Then we will substitute back in the equation 1, this equation, this one equation, this equation. So what we will get is integral 0 to h1 g1 g of r minus 2 cr dr is equal to integral 0 to h2 g of r plus cr dr. So okay, so this is arranging, I am arranging it like this: integral 0 to h1 g of r dr, this is one time minus integral 0 to h2 g of r dr is equal to 2 times integral 0 to h1 cr dr plus 0 to h2 cr dr, that is equation 4. Now first I calculate the left hand side of equation 4. So that is integral 0 to h1 g of r dr minus integral 0 to h2 g of r dr, that is integral 0 to h1 g of r dr plus integral h2 to 0 integral g of r dr, that is equal to integral h2 to h1 g of r dr. This is only a definitive property of this one. So here you know h1 and h2 is very much close to the radius of earth. Okay, so that what I can take is the g of r is almost constant, that is equal to g. Okay, so I can take g of r as g and I can take it outside. So then it is integral g into, so it is g into integral h2 to h1 dr. So that is g into integral h1 minus h2. h1 minus h2 is delta h, that is the small height in water level, height difference. Okay, g into delta h, that is the LHS. So what is the RHS of this equation? 2 times this one. Here I am taking is this one. RHS is this one, integral 0 to h1 2 cr dr plus integral 0 to h2 cr dr, that's approximately equal to h1 and h2. I am taking h1 and h2 is approximately equal to radius of earth. So this will be 0 to re 2 cr dr plus 0 to re cr dr. So it is 0 to re 2 cr plus cr, that is 3 cr dr, that is 3 by 2 r, integral of r is r square by 2, therefore it is 3 by 2 c r is square. Okay, so I can substitute the values. Left hand side g into delta h and 3 by 2 c into r square is the right hand side, where g is our acceleration due to gravity on earth, that is gme by r square, and c is gms by rs cube. Substituting this, I will get delta h is 3 by 2 ms by me into re by rs all cube into re. Very important. That is the height due to sun gravitational field. If I substitute the values ms, me, rs, re as given, delta h is equal to 24 centimeter. The sun rises the water in a height of 24 centimeter, right? Okay, so in a similar procedure that we follow for sun, if you follow the same procedure for moon, what you are getting is your solar mass is replaced by mass of moon, that is delta h is equal to 3 by 2 mass of moon divided by mass of earth into re by rm. Rm means the distance between center of moon and center of earth.